Welcome to the Empowered Living Club, where we figure out how to win our hardest inner battles and then give you the exact tools so you can win yours. Let's lock in. Today, I'm going to talk about what I've been working on in the past week. As a matter of fact, the past 2 weeks, which is to notice how my walls come up. Basically, the problem that I was dealing with and trying to get better at is to see how I shut down, how I become silent, and how I withdraw automatically when I'm in a difficult situation of a very difficult conversation. So the solution to that is to catch my protective behavior, to catch how my walls come up and how it activates so that I can learn to see it for what it is and learn to do something about it. So I'm going to share my 2 week reflection on how that's been for me using a tool in the past few weeks. So number one, the truth that I faced was finally see clearly about myself that when I'm very upset, I really pull away. The kind of person that I pull away, I become silent, I ignore, and I can do this for a very long time. And I basically stop talking and I shut down and I go very, very cold. This is something that I really do when I'm feeling like I've said my piece and I've done what I could have done and it's simply not landing. So I feel like I've done everything that I could have done and I cannot communicate anymore. The truth that I've faced about myself, that I'm just the kind of person that simply shuts down, stops communicating whenever I feel like I've done it all. It's the truth. It's simply the truth. Now, number two, what courageous moves did I do to better myself? Well, what I've noticed is I have been in a difficult conversation in the past 2 weeks, actually a few. And what I've noticed is I realized that I was in a tough conversation and I felt like I wanted to pull away and shut down. So what I've done is I took another turn and I basically stayed and I didn't pull away. And I've forced myself to navigate that whole situation in a completely different way to slowly learn that I don't always have to pull away out of the conversation. I don't always have to let my walls build up and get out of that situation when it's not really necessary, and realizing that it's me feeling uncomfortable and wanting to get out of that situation to feel safe again. So I've been in such situation in the past few weeks, and I'm not going to lie to you. It's tough. It's tough because I felt the heat coming up in my body. I felt the anger building up. And the only thing that I wanted to do in that moment is just get out of there, build up the wall, becomes very, very silent because I feel that I'm upset and I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to communicate anymore because I said everything that I could have said. I've done what I could have done and it's just not landing on the other side. So I'm just like, done. But I stayed. So that's a win to me because usually I would have withdrawn out of that conversation, out of that situation, and just build up a wall and not communicate anymore. So that's a win to me. Now, number three, what old patterns showed up? Where did I see that I was repeating the loops of the past? What kind of protector mode was activated? Well, I haven't been in a lot of old patterns, repeated loops a lot. At least I can't recall any. In terms of my walls coming up and shutting down and stop communicating, I don't think I can recall any in the past 2 weeks. I have been in pretty upsetting situations in the past 2 weeks. So things are getting better for me. Now, number four, who do I feel like that I'm becoming? What's the evolution snapshot? Well, I feel like I am more self-aware of my own actions, my own behavior, and I'm more self-aware of my walls that come up when I feel really upset. And I also realize that I potentially hurt other people when I have that kind of behavior in situations where I actually do need to communicate. And that's when I stop communicating because I'm upset. So I feel like I'm a whole lot more self-aware of that. And I am actually doing something about it. So I had this vision of myself, my future self, where I articulated the kind of person that I wanted to be. And I wanted to be someone that was able to communicate despite being super upset and not willing to communicate anymore. So I've taken steps into that direction and I feel like I've become a whole lot better at that. So I'm happy about that. So let's go to step number five, what that's been for me in the past few weeks. One small thing that changed everything. One small win that I realized or a step that I took that changed a lot for me. Well, I would say that Starting with naming my own behavior was the major differentiator. That was the major step for me. It may sound like a small step for some people, and I also called it a small little step, but in reality for me, just the fact that I was able to name my behavior, that I am someone that shuts down, stops communicating when I'm really upset, just the articulation of that, admitting that and saying what it is, has helped me a lot. Has helped me really a lot, because I realize it much more. Even when I'm upset, when I'm in that moment, I know the kind of behavior that I have, and it helps me come back to my senses and take a different turn, take a different action, and not pull away and shut down and go silent, stop communicating. Instead, I stay in the moment most of the time. I'm still working on this. Most of the time, I stay in the moment and I keep communicating, and I'm actively working on this. So I am getting better. Now, I do need your help with something. Please let me know in the comment section below what your behavior is like when you're super upset. What is your way of building up your walls? How do your walls show up? How does that look like? Please let me know in the comment section below. And also, let me know what you do exactly to try to bring your walls back down. Make sure you tune in for the next episode, because I will be talking about how I celebrate my tiny little wins that kept me safe. Situations that I thought that I wouldn't survive, situations that I thought that I wouldn't overcome, and that kind of stuff. I'm going to be talking about that in the next episode. I'm going to use a tool to get better, and I'm going to share my results with you. It's not going to be easy at all, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm encouraging you and inviting you to do the exact same thing, because if you're curious to find out if you could have a better life, if you're willing to do this, and if you're ready, let every moment be your canvas and every breath be your brush to live truthfully and to live courageously. I did this, so you can do this too. My name is Chris Kasonga. Keep living an empowered life.